Hello friends, Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. As you can tell by the title of tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about some stuff you see going on now on social media and other platforms where people are complaining, oh my goodness, I got the grader of death, the so-and-so grading company, they screwed me, they're too tough on grading. I can't believe it, wah, wah, wah. Well, the slogan I've been using a lot lately is, you cry, I buy. Especially for Ultramodern. If people are auctioning off their Ultramoderns, true auctions, 99 cents, 7 to 9, 10 days or whatever it is, I want you to use that opportunity to your advantage. Now, here on the channel, we always say that, we want to own the card. Buy the card, not the assigned grade. And, there's a camp that says, well, just buy raw cards. Well, I've done that. I do that on occasion. But, that ebbs and flows in that regard. You have to do your homework. If you have a chromium card, it's very difficult for a chromium card to be less than an assigned grade of an 8. They're fairly well made, so scratches aside and whatnot, but you have to do your due diligence, do your homework on what it is, whatever particular card it is, especially run-of-the-mill cards. For rookie card, chromium rookie cards is not really a Topps Chrome or Prism rookie cards is not a huge need to pay up for like a PSC 8 or even a 9 anymore, because I've collected slabs since 2005, and from 2005 until 2019 for the most part they were universally hated, shunned, redheaded stepchild, whatever phrase you want to use, because it was 10 or nothing for a majority of people. And the prices reflected that, because, back then you could, if, using round numbers, back then if a PSA 10 was $100, a 9 might have been 20 or 25. So, 4 or 5 times the price, 9 versus 10, is just crazy to me. So I always use that to my advantage as far as collecting, because as I had mentioned, I want to cast my net as wide as possible with the collecting, especially rookie cards. I want to own as many different rookie cards, post-war rookie cards, as I can. I think that's just part of the collecting journey, and brings me joy. So, you cry, I buy. That's going to be the theme with tonight's pickups, or recent pickups that I've gotten in, and I'll talk about them a little bit. And you see there in front of you the Hank Aaron rookie, and then from 2018, the Topps Throwback Thursday. There's an Acuna and a Soto, which look a little like the Aaron. Obviously, it's not the same dimensions, but. And then I picked up this Juan Soto from the 2021, like technically earlier this year, but they're saying 2021 Topps Transcendent Party, with Juan Soto. And this is number 295 there on the bottom. And it's modeled after the 54 Topps. It's a good looking card. The back looks kind of like it as well. You know, and there's Ohtani as well. I just haven't been able to pick one up yet. I mean, even though these aren't numbered to 95, they're not all 95 sets weren't broken up. You know, you get the whole... And, you know, it's not a Transcendent video, but they've been doing Transcendent parties since 2016, you know, for the 65th anniversary of Topps. And they had Chris Bryant, and they had Aaron Judge, and Trout, and Jeter. And unfortunately, this one, it was almost like a Soto/Acuna release, which sounds good, but you know, they didn't make 1980 Soto. They made an 80 Acuna. They didn't make 71s of either of them. They made a 71 dual card with both of them on it, and it didn't. You know, Transcendent has been since 2016. It makes, you know, whoever the featured player is from 52 until the current year. And I was looking forward to a 71 Soto, a 71 Acuna, depending on what some of the other 75s, so depending on what the other years looked like. But they did a bunch of dual, you know, Soto Acuna cards together. It's not terrible, but it's disappointing. So, but happy to add this one to the collection, even though it's raw. Gonna go over that in a second. This I picked up, it might have been last month now. I picked this one up on Twitter, and it's a Batman rookie, and it's beater. It's a beater. Let's see if I can get it to. Yeah, you see, it's heavily creased. It was represented as such. It was not. There was no hiding. There was no malcontent by the seller. I knew what I was getting, and it was 35 shipped. I mean, I wanted a Batman rookie. They're on the rise in graded form. So, I also picked up this Babe Ruth Topps rookie. You know, we like to go back and forth if we want to do that game. This is his first Topps card in the set. It's from 61 Topps. There's a crease in the lower corner that the seller did not disclose, but it's nicely centered. Other than that, it looks nice. It smells nice. So I'm going to keep it. It's got some wax stain on the back. But this is his first pack issued Topps card. Matheson's in it. Walter Johnson's in it. Cobb didn't get one until 73. He's got two in the 73 Topps set. Hit leader and batting average leader. Same image on both covers. I think I want to say hits leader is 471 or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway. What's turning me into the off again phase on the raw cards on eBay. And I get it. Oh, Eric, you can see pictures, you can send it back. And I get that. I get all that. The raw cards I'm buying on eBay are not what I would consider costly. But, you know, ask the seller to send more pictures and this and that. You know, I'm bartering on buy it now best offers. So, and we're talking, you know, $20 and under on these cards. So, you know, when I go, send me some super images on these, you know, something I'm going to give you $10 for. That's not going to go over well. But this came in. I opened this last night and kind of like the impetus for this video, and it was a 2020 Topps Gold Ohtani. It was $8, so I get it and I take it out of the top loader, and sure enough, you know, I can't even describe what kind of damage that is, but you know, it's a crease, but it's not like someone jammed their thumb. It's on the bottom, so you know. And these, as you know, these are numbered to the year of release on the back. This came out in 2020, so it's numbered to 2020. And yeah, I sent the emailer. I contacted the seller. I said, hey, you know, the listing doesn't mention this. You can't see it in the image. And disappointed, and I haven't heard back. So, you know, I don't know if I'm going to leave a negative or whatnot, but it's disappointing. You know, and like I said, it was $8. You know, it's going to cost me half that to mail it back. And get it. Well, you know, it's 2022. I don't own a printer. It's 2022. So that's the long and just the long and short of it. But let's look at some more cards that have come in and talk about it a little bit. Let's stick with Ohtani. I picked up this 2019 Topps Gold in a PSA 9, 2019, so that's what it's numbered to on the back. Rookie Cup. I think this was $52, something like that. Very reasonable, considering what a 10 would go for. That's kind of the premise here. I don't think you can get a 10 for under $300 if you can even find one, which it's just insane to me. You cry, I buy. I can't stress that enough, that like I said earlier, from 2005 to 2019, I talked about the price differences and stuff. And then in 2020, when we entered the new age, you know, 10s skyrocketed across the board, and it shined a positive light on 9s, and 9s went up to the percentage of, you know, it was probably about 2 to 1 instead of 5 to 1. So it got uncomfortable, so some of us started buying 8s or waiting or buying raw, playing that game. But you know, now that we're in the middle of 2022, I've noticed that the PSA, the non-gem, let's just cover the entire umbrella here. The non-gem hate is back, and it's being reflected in the final prices, which is fine by me because it just helps collect. So I picked this up. This is the image variation from 2019 Topps Series 1 of Shohei Ohtani. The Rookie Cup image variation. Again, very affordable. I wouldn't know what a 10 would go for. I would not own a 10. And actually, I think this was, I want to say 79, somewhere around there. I don't think you can, again, I think a raw copy of this is going to be the same, or if not more, which is silly to me for a card that's 3 years old. Sure, it's possible you could pick up a raw copy cheaper, send it in yourself, maybe get a 10. You know, you're playing a lot of ifs, a lot of if games. When the 9 is here and the 9 is fine. You know, find 9, buy it, you own it. You don't have to worry about sending it off, how long it's going to take them to grade it. Are they going to screw you with a low grade? It just makes sense, and it's starting to make more sense now that the hate is returning to non-gems. Let's see, this one, I can't remember how much this one was. Well, let's go with, let's do a shiny card. I think this was 30. This is from the, what I consider to be the last significant Topps flagship hobby factory set. Let me repeat that. Might sound strange. The last significant, at least for the foreseeable future, Topps Hobby Factory flagship set that comes with 5 foil boards per hobby set. 5 out of a 700 card set. Now these are numbered on the back to 229. Just strange. It's just how they do the numbering based on how much they're making. I think last year, the hobby foil boards went up to 750, or something like that, and I'm sure they'll go over 1,000 this year. But these are not easy to obtain. You got to remember, you have to open a hobby factory set. You get 5 of the 700 in any one hobby factory set. So the odds of getting the one you want are very slim. And again, this is a 9. The hobby hates 9s. I won this at auction for $30. And like I said, going forward, they have a retail. The year after this year they made a retail version that was, I think, weird. It was numbered like 270 or somewhere around there. But then it doesn't look as nice as this is the hobby, in my opinion. I think I've got one more Ohtani to show here. And it's also from 2020, Topps flagship. I just happen to really like this image. I think it's, love or hate the flagship design of 2020. It's kind of grown on me, but this is the Independence Day, and these are number 276 on the back individually, and they started putting these out in 2018, and they put them out each year. And in my opinion, they've got progressively worse looking as far as parallels go. They've slimmed them down as far as what it looks like, but they're still numbered to 76, so they're always going to be numbered to 76. And very happy to add this at auction for less than the price of 3 Bowman 2022 blasters at SRP. So do a little mind gymnastics there on the math, but very happy to add this 9. Again, if this was a 10, it probably would have been 5 times that, if not more. So guys, I cannot stress it enough. I mean, if you're into the slabs, if you're not into the slabs, I appreciate you listening to me ramble on. But if you're into the slabs, honestly, are you going to be able to tell the difference between a 9 and a 10 when you look at them like this? Other than centering, no. And by the way, you can't tell any of that crap on the internet. For raw cards. Oh, what do you think this will grade at? It's a freaking picture on the internet. You can't tell. You need to see it in person. That's what she said. Let's see. All right, let's do a little. This was a big purchase for me. This is from 2003 Topps Football. This is a gold Tom Brady. Now the thing with football and basketball, this was the first year they made individually numbered Topps Gold football cards. And for this year, they're numbered to 499. This is 234 of 499. There we go. So yeah, this is his first Topps Gold card, and I'm pretty big on Topps football and basketball now that Fanatics is going to bring them back. So very happy to win this. This was an expensive purchase. It was I think it was $208. But I was not expecting to win. I had a little snipe, a little higher than that. But very happy to add this to the collection. This is a significant gold card, in my opinion, of his because it's his first one. I have a couple raws. I have a 2006 raw, I think 15, 12. But again, there's just something about a slab card. You can show a slab card to anybody and they can, at the very least, they can read what it says on the flip. And there's very little, there's a lot of these slabs are so flimsy, blah, 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 blah. No. Well, we're not playing Frisbee with them, but, I would not have any hesitation to hand this to a friend that doesn't collect. And you want to see a cool Tom Brady card, and you hand it to them, they look at it. Anyway, turns out the seller of this card is a blowout member. And he actually sent me a message, a private DM on Blowout the next day saying, hey, congratulations, that went a lot lower than I thought it would. So I thought that was cool. I got in another Topps Gold that I did not own, and it's from 2007 Topps Basketball, the Kevin Durant rookie year. This is a LeBron James. This was the first year they started numbering them to the year of release, so it's numbered on the back to 2007, like baseball is. And actually in 2003, when they started Topps Gold Basketball, numbered version, not like 92 and 93 and 94. And they individually numbered them. They started in 2003, and I think it was, for basketball, LeBron's rookie year, it was numbered to 99 of all things. So, 2003, 4, 5, and 6 are numbered to 500. Like, again, I'm not 100% on that, but they play games with the numberings of the Topps Gold and the Topps Black. But this is a PSA 7. I think I won this for like $65, some stupid, how does that win? I mean, it doesn't, if I take out a loop and I super micromanage, this is wrong, maybe, or maybe it was just, oh man, the grader that day, he must have gotten laid the night before. He screwed me with these grades. He's grumpy, blah, blah, blah. So, again, you play these games to your advantage, the grading game. You take this card that I didn't even own in raw form, and you can't win a raw copy of this for $65. You just can't. Well, maybe you can now, but it's point being, you have to use these things, and this applies to all, not just modern or ultra modern, vintage too. I mean, we'll use this Hank for example. It's well centered. There's no snow on his face, but there's a chunk missing here, so it's never going to get a super high grade because there's a chunk missing there. You've got pinholes. You've got paper loss on the back. There are just so many ways to play this game to your advantage as a collector. Another LeBron I picked up last week is from 2005 Topps. This is the Topps Black. So this is the old school CSG with the subgrades. You got 7 on corners. Again, doesn't look that bad if this was raw. Wouldn't look out of place in an 8. And these are numbered to 500, which is weird for a Topps Black, isn't it? But again, like I said, for the football and the basketball, just fantastic. This was $77. In fact, I won this, and then the following day, I didn't even realize it at the time, but someone else had auctioned off a PSA 8 of this card, and that sold for $130. So about double what a 7.5 CSG sold for. And I still, a bit off topic, but I still have not picked up a new flip CSG. I'm just being lazy about it, but these flips, these slabs are fantastic. They just are. I mean, they're just the clearest plastic in the market. I mean, the plastic is just, I've gone on about that before, but so happy to, I haven't picked up too much non-baseball lately, and it's not from lack of trying. I mean, I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to, do the quality thing, and looking for numbered cards. A lot of these I've shown off are numbered cards, or photo variations. I can't stay away from those. Those don't have parallels, which is even nicer. At least the flagship ones don't. A lot of the Topps Chrome ones do, but let's see. All right, next up. I won this at auction, that's right. This was $42. Wasn't planning on that. I think I put a snipe in for 50. It's like, that'll never win. It's 2021 Topps Chrome Gold Vlady Jr. Regular, old school Topps Chrome Gold. Not Ben Baller, not Wave. Just old school Topps Chrome Gold. Number 25 of 50. So close to his uniform number. These are not easy to... Obviously, there's only 50 of them. But as I've mentioned before, as time passes on, time goes by, these fall into collections. And good phrase that my friend JT, my friend and yours, he did a podcast this week with Andy Shibani with Refractors, and they talking about the psychology of sports cards, and it was just an hour of fantastic learning and listening, and JT brought up a good phrase that I had not heard before, but these cards, they disappear, and the only time they come back are the double Ds. Death or divorce. So, these lower number cards, especially as time goes on, they go into collections and they disappear. So it's not as easy as you would think to, well, now I have a raw in this one, so I have 2 of the 50 in existence, but not the point. The point is that, as time goes on, it becomes more difficult to find these original old school Topps Chrome Gold, even Topps Chrome Blue, not Wave, not Baller, not Sparkle, whatever the hell they come up with. They actually, I think for 2021, I think they started Rose Gold, which are numbered to 10. They're always going to add more colors, more parallels, because it doesn't cost them anything, and they know we're stupid like that. But there's just something about the original ones. So happy to have that in the collection. I haven't been winning much Mike Trout either, but I did pick up a nice Trout because it was cheap. It was cheap. It was cheap. It was at auction. It was $25. And I've done a couple of videos on this particular card. It's the only card ever, unless something drastic happens, that will show my Trout in uniform number 45 in honor of his friend Tyler Skaggs, who died earlier in 2019. This was the All-Star game. This is the All-Star game card. This is from the 2019 Topps Chrome update, which was a Target exclusive, and the wax is quite costly because of it just is. But these refractors are numbered to 250 on the back. So as far as refractors go, this is one of the shorter print base refractors, and it's just a great image. It's got, wearing 45, and again, this was for the price of a blaster. I threw the snipe in. I won. I have a couple of these. I think I have 4 or 5 raw copies. Just because it's again, like I just said, with the time goes by, these numbered cards, they become more difficult to track down. And it's the joy of collecting. I've got some Ronnies to show. Been trying to pick some up. I did pick this up because it's a fine 9, and it was a little more than the price of a Bowman 2022 blaster, and it's a great image from 2019 Topps Finest. This is the blue refractor in a fine 9, numbered to 150. They've played games with the numbering on Topps on blue refractors. There's some that are $2.99. I wish they would just stick to 150, but Topps is going to Topps. I just think this is a fantastic image. It's difficult to pick up on the camera, but obviously there's no etching. Gee, I don't think I can go through any video with chromium cards that I don't talk about etching. But it's hard to describe, but it's a refractor, but he's not. The human and the bat is not shiny, so it kind of not terrible, but it just happens to be a great picture. Him looking at a ball he hit very far. Let's see. Speaking of All-Star Game cards, I did pick up this Topps Black Ronald Acuna. Again, because it was at auction, and these are numbered to 67. Kind of like Topps Gold, they number these. They started with 60, and then they kept going. Each year they'll add one more to the print run. So normally I try to stick with the regular base cards, not the subsets. But again, this was under 2 blasters. It's the OxyClean is actually not visible, but I do prefer the home run derby card in his subset where he's hitting, blowing a bubble, but that was not at auction. This was a big pickup. This is his second year, 2019 Topps card number 1, Topps Black. As the previous is numbered 67 of 67, so it's obviously an eBay 1 of 1, right? Anyway, but it's a rookie cup. He's only going to have 1 year flagship rookie cup because for some reason not on this one. Oh, it doesn't have the cup. I think the chrome does, but they put it on the home run derby. Frank's red hot it. But as far as flagship base cards, this is going to be his only one with the rookie cup for Acuna. I'm sure there are examples in the past that they've done multiples because, like I said, it's Topps. But again, this was a 9, not a 10. Saved me a bunch of money. So I've got one more to show. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. It means a lot to me. I am trying to gather my thoughts on a national video. We're about 2 months, 9 weeks out now. Hard to believe. But I've done a couple of guest spots on other people's shows, and I'm sure I'll shoot something out. But if you're gonna go, you're gonna go. If you have the means and the ability to go, make sure you go. You're not gonna regret it. I've never heard anyone say, I went to the National, I had a terrible time. Have people gone to the National have a terrible time? Sure, of course. It's like everything in life. But the people I my circles, I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, I went and I had a horrible time." I've heard people say, "I went and I couldn't find anything," or "I went and I wanted to buy this and it was too much." But you go and you see your friends. You go and you make friends, old and new. You go and you have a good time. You go and you escape from everyday life. So let me show this last card. I know I've been rambling on longer than Led Zeppelin, but this is from 2021 Topps Flagship Series 1. It's another Ronald Acuna Topps Black. Well, it's numbered to 70 last year. Like I said, they add 1 year, one more each year. This is a PSA 8. Not my favorite image. I guess I can talk a few seconds on that. Recently, I've decided that I need to ease up on my stance on that. These guys, these young players that are building their own sports and hobby and/or hobby legacies are going to have their own images. As much as I love 54 Topps, it's always going to be Hank Aaron, Ernie Banks, Al Kaline. It's going to be their set in subsequent years. So maybe I need to ease up. I was very vocal how horrible this picture was when it was released. I'm not particularly a fan of his 2022 picture. He's a great player. He's energetic. It is what it is, right? But this is a, PSA 8. I won this for under $50. It's a card that's numbered to 70. Again, like I mentioned, in raw form, I don't think it's going to be that cheap. And again, there's 70 of them. And the thing with these flagship parallels is these dry up. They get more difficult to find as time goes by. The odds on these are astronomical. And the odds on these get worse every year. We have this 2020 Topps numbered to 2020. The odds on pulling get worse and worse and worse. I can't recommend Topps Gold enough because it seems like baseball. It seems like a lot. I don't have any within reach, but it seems like a lot. Like you take any player this year, take Acuna's 2022 Topps Gold, that's numbered to 2022. The odds of receiving any particular one Topps Gold isn't even one per box anymore. It used to be you'd get between 4 and 6 in the hobby box back in the day. Now, hobby box, you're not even guaranteed to get one gold in hobby box. And I've picked up a bunch. They're in the mail, they're raw. $10. $10 or less. Acuna, Soto, Tatis, Shohei. Shohei's a little more difficult. $8 to $10. Like I picked up a bunch of these 2021 Topps Gold Acunas. $8 shipped. Like I just mentioned, this stuff, the odds are terrible. Very, very not in your favor. And then to get any one particular gold in the first place, and then it to be, 350 card set checklist to get the one particular player you want when opening, it's just astronomical. And those odds aren't getting any better. But they're getting cheaper as time goes by, but then there's a cutoff point. You can't find them anymore. Like I think I have 3 or 4 of this Topps Gold now. They're just going into the Z. I don't have any intention of selling them. And I'm not alone in that thought process. I'm just happen to be one person that's making videos, about talking about the hobby and cards on the internet. I want you to stop and I want you to think about how many people are collecting that aren't on the internet, or vocal about it on the internet, or talking about their collections on the internet and what they enjoy. I'm not pumping myself up. I'm stating a fact that, people are saying this hobby is dying, and I could not disagree more. Maybe the vocal talking heads are dying out. You know all the usual suspects, and we've talked about them many times. But what about the average Joe that's collecting? Because, hey, they enjoy collecting. Imagine that. And it gives them something to do to distract them from real, everyday freaking life. That's enough now, Eric. Thank you all for tuning in. I cannot express how much I appreciate your time listening to me talk about sports cards or whatever it is that particular day.